these word problems, and they are a bit tricky, and there is something that I really struggle with, and is probably applying our literacy skills to mathematics, and it's something that we don't teach very explicitly sometimes, and we probably should. So we're probably aware of a few problem-solving strategies like highlighting key terms, drawing a diagram, writing what you know, etc., etc. In this case, will drawing a diagram help us? No. So we need to identify some key terms and also be really aware of some subject-specific vocab. I'm going to guess that's where we're falling here, because we can all identify what the key terms are. I think in here, if I ask us what are some key terms, Michael, give me some.
6.
6.
15.
Very good.
Added.
Added. A number.
Twice.
Twice.
At most.
Cool. So we can set there our key terms. What we struggle with, I guess, we know what added means. What does that mean?
Plus.
Plus. Okay, so 6, we get that. At most, what does that mean?
Including
that one.
Including and
less than.
less than, and we get 15. So what's the part we're struggling with?
Twice a number.
Twice a number. And this probably is the first bit of our subject-specific vocab. A number. That means it can be anything, correct? How do we represent something that can be any number? What's the way that we do that? A letter. Okay, what's the letter that we often use in mathematics to represent any number?
X.
X. So that we can make that equal anything. So we almost always let that equal X. Or we can use a pronumeral. Any pronumeral. Yep, any letter. You can use any symbol, any pronumeral. If you wanted to let it equal square, doesn't matter. You wanted to let it equal cloud. What you're saying is in place of a number, I'm putting this symbol. And this symbol can be any number. Cool? So what does twice a number mean?
2 times.
2 times? Now do we know what to do? Rearrange to find out what X is, correct? So you're minus 6. Go from there, I'm not going to do all that. Okay, you should know how to do all that. So now, rather than show you how to do the next one, I'm just going to identify, because what we struggled with there wasn't the highlighting of terms, wasn't the rearranging, it was purely understanding what twice a number meant. Does that make sense? So I'm just going to go through and talk about what these key terms mean, and we'll go from there. Yes, Tim?
Is it good to put 6 plus 2?
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. It doesn't matter what sign does it matter for. There are 2 signs that the order matters when we're doing 2 operations where the order in which we place them matters. So 3 plus 2 is the same as 2 plus 3, correct? Dividing and subtraction. 2 times 3 is the same as 3 times 2, but 3 divided 2 is not the same as 2 divided 3, as 3 minus 2 is not the same as 2 minus 3. Cool? So addition and multiplication, order does not matter. Subtraction and division, order does matter. We're going to be really specific about which one goes first. At most or at least, what are we talking about there? At most means less than or equal to. At least means greater than or equal to. Okay, I'm just going to put the signs in. We read left to right, so we should be able to understand what that means. Sum, product, difference, and quotient. What does sum mean?
Plus.
What does product mean? What does difference mean? Take. And quotient means? Divide. Okay? Consecutive. So if you wake up on the wrong side of the bed on 2 consecutive days, what does that mean? 2 days in a row. So if I've got consecutive numbers, that means 2 numbers that are in a row. Okay? Now again, I can let any number be the smaller or the bigger number. It does not matter. Are we clear with that? So I could represent 2 consecutive numbers as x plus 1 or x plus x minus 1. In the first scenario, what number is x? The smaller or the bigger number? The smaller number. So the second number is x plus 1. Does that make sense? If I've got 2 consecutive numbers, then I'll the smaller one be x, the next one must be x plus 1. If I let the bigger number be x, then it's going to be x plus x minus 1. So let that sink, because I can let x equal whichever number I want. I should write x is going to be the smaller or the bigger number. So if I write x as the smaller number, then the next number is going to be x plus 1. If I write x as the bigger number, then the previous number is x take 1. Cool? It does not matter, it'll come out regardless. So consecutive means next to each other. What does integer mean, just in case we didn't get that? What is an integer? We don't know what an integer is, do we? Thank you. Whole number will do. It can be positive and negative.
No.
That's okay, if you didn't know what that is, just don't tell people. It's like riding a scooter. So alright if you do it in your own time, but I wouldn't tell too many people. Okay? Clear with that? I'll give you a chance to have a crack at question too. I might give you another one so you can have a go.
No, you wrote that one, sir.
Yeah, right, that one.